Hey everybody, it's me, Miss Audrey, and I'm so glad to see y'all today. So we have just a couple of announcements today for y'all. First of all, it is Pretzel Sunday, and so this year, instead of making all of the pretzels at church during Sunday school to eat, we're going to provide you the ingredients list and the instructions and the pretzel story so you can make them right at home. So if you need to get this pretzel recipe, it's going to be on the children's page of our website. So again, the front has a list of ingredients. Most of them you probably already have, the instructions, and then on the back is the story of the pretzel for y'all to talk about together while your pretzels are baking. All right, so that's one thing you need to know for this week. Number two, this Wednesday, February the 17th, is Ash Wednesday. And so for us, that's the start of the season of Lent. And so this year, Ash Wednesday will be different. And so instead of having one service, we are going to have 3 separate opportunities to receive the imposition of the ashes at the Connection building. And so you can come between 7 and 9 a.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., or 4 to 6 p.m., wear your mask, and just come by the Connection building on any of those time slots to get the imposition of the ashes. Our media team has worked on a service you can watch from the comfort of your home. And so you can watch that service on your own and then come receive the ashes at Connection. Cool? All right, last thing, if you're a parent, a guardian, an adult for any kind of child or a youth, we are going to be offering our Spring Parent Study starting February 24th. So that's Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m., led by Leslie Fye. This will be every Wednesday through about mid-April, and yes, there will be a virtual option. If you're interested in participating, email me, Audrey, at first-umc.org. All right, so that's a lot of information. Again, rewind, pause, reflect, take a note if you need to, but we're starting to pick back up as safely as we can, so don't miss out on what's going on at church. I'll see y'all soon. Guess what? Today is Pretzel Sunday. Yes, it is a real thing. And so today we are going to be making pretzels together. And so hopefully you're watching this video and you have all of your ingredients and you're about to make pretzels with us. But if you need to rewind, pause, watch us later, that's okay too. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the ingredients you need, what other things you may need, and then we'll actually make pretzels together here so you can follow along wherever you are. Sound good? All right. Well, I have, first of all, this handy dandy pretzel recipe guide. And so this is going to be available on our church website. So go to our church website. You'll be able to find this on our children's ministry page. It'll be called Pretzel Recipe. So on this, you will find that you need frozen dough. So I've got my thawed out frozen dough right here. You can get this at Kroger, Walmart, any grocery store. You need flour, melted butter, which is happening off camera, so go ahead and melt your butter. We've got kosher or sea salt, but regular salt will probably be fine, but kosher would be best. You need a pastry or a barbecue brush, wax paper, so I've laid wax paper on also the next thing, cookie sheet, or you can also have some on hand, which we'll talk about in a minute. And you'll need a bowl, and that's it. Most of these things you probably have at your house. The only thing you may need to pick up is a bag of frozen rolls. So grab that on your grocery run, and we'll get started. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is thaw out our rolls. So again, they're frozen when you get them. So about an hour, hour and a half before you're ready to bake your pretzels, set them out somewhere on your kitchen counter and let them thaw out. All right? And so then what we're going to do is we're going to take that all-purpose flour. We're going to pour some in our bowl. Just pour a little bit. Okay? And so you'll just have some in the bottom of your bowl. right, so once your dough is thawed out, we'll take, let me see, we'll make about 10 pretzels. 1, 2, we can count together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. I'll just set the rest aside. And so you've got your bowl, you put your flour in your bowl, and now I've put some rolls in here. And so I'm going to just lightly coat the pretzel dough with flour. Great. All right, so now what we're going to do is, so if you're at home with family members, everyone can get a little piece of wax paper or something to kind of work on. And so you're going to take your pretzel dough that's been floured and you're going to roll it out on the wax paper. So if you're working on a slippery surface, you may need to go ahead and get started. I've also got gloves on, so I got to be a little work it out. And kind of spread it out. Maybe some of you have made pizza dough before. It's kind of the same thing. You got to just really keep working with it, keep working with it. Be patient. I love making pretzels. Pretzels are so fun. Unless you're gluten-free, then maybe there's an option for you. There might be gluten-free rolls. I'm sure there are. That's okay. And you want to roll it out till it's about 12 to 15 inches long. Because remember, we're going to fold this into a pretzel. Now, why are we even doing this today? That seems like a good question we should ask. Well, a long time ago, honestly, not even in America, over in Europe, they had a tradition when they celebrated Lent that they cooked and got all of the ingredients cooked and out of their house and eaten up before Lent started, because once Lent started, they wouldn't be able to eat certain things. And so one day, someone took dough and they rolled it out like we did, and they twisted it up and they folded it into pretzels. And the reason they did this is because it looked like prayer hands. And one tradition over in another country was that when they prayed, they held their hands like this and they prayed. And so, once our pretzels are cooked, we'll be able to see it a little better. But when you hold your pretzel, what we consider upside down, you see that it looks like prayer hands. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I thought so too. So I'm going to go ahead and set one of these here. All right, and we'll pause here with our video so that we can make the rest of these and roll them out into pretzels. And then we'll bake them. But while your dough is thawed and you're rolling out your pretzels, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. All right, we'll pause here. All right, well, with some help, we went ahead and rolled out the rest of our pretzel dough, and we have a tip for y'all. So just a reminder that, if you're using wax paper and you want to keep it from sliding around on the counter, you can put a wet paper towel under your wax paper and that'll help it stick. So, a little tip from our crew. All right, so I'm going to put this aside, pull the pretzels a little closer. And so before we put these in our 350 degree oven, we're going to coat them with butter. So again, you can see we melted our butter ahead of time. And we're using our pastry brush just to paint on the butter. Just kind of, cover all of our pretzels. So once we've done that, so we'll go ahead and do that here. You can just, we all know butter tastes good, so just go ahead and just plop it on there. So as you put in the butter, you also sprinkle the salt right behind it. And now we got to be a little careful with the salt. We don't want to overdo it. Some of y'all may be saying, no, it's fine, but trust me, just do a little bit. Okay, so we'll keep doing this. And again, like we said, the reason we have Pretzel Sunday right before Ash Wednesday. So Ash Wednesday is this Wednesday. This year, it's February the 17th. But so we do this because we're using up all of those items in our kitchen, in our homes, that during a very strict season of Lent, we would not be cooking with or eating. Oh, that's a lot of salt. See, I'm just gonna use a pinch. Okay, and so this year, you can be thinking about, what are you gonna do for Lent? So sometimes people give up something for Lent. So maybe you have a favorite food, and you're gonna, instead of eating it during this season of Lent, you're going to give it up or not eat it for 40 days. Or sometimes people do something, they take on an activity for Lent. So maybe you are like, I think for Lent this year, I'm going to write a card to a member of my family or to a friend every day and put it in the mail. That would be a really neat thing you could do this year for Lent, because cards always brighten people's day. Or maybe you're picking up a spiritual discipline or a habit. And so for us at our church, we love to give out Lent Devotionals. And so our media team and our pastoral team has put together a Lent devotional where you can read all of the Gospels throughout the 40 days of Lent. And so if you love to read your Bible or want to start reading your Bible, that might be good for you. But if you're in 6th grade or if you're younger, you can do one of our devotionals. So we have ordered devotionals for age-specific children groups. And so if you're in pre-K to 2nd grade, we have a Lent devotional you can use and take on that for Lent. Every day you would read a verse and put a sticker on your chart. And so those are just the kinds of things, like I said, Pretzel Sunday is really fun. And so it's kind of interesting, we start the season of Lent, and Lent, we know it's kind of a harder season, but we started with this really fun Sunday to get us prepared for the hard days to come. We celebrate, we know that we're about to enter a season of where we're kind of, focusing more on Jesus and less on the things that we think we need. All right? And so again, what do the pretzels remind us to do during Lent? Can you remember? All right, well, think about that. We're gonna butter and salt this last pretzel, put these in the oven, and cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. Just keep an eye on them, Just watch them. When you think they look done, they might be done. All right, so we'll put these in the oven, and then we'll see you in a second. All right, well, the last thing we get to do is take our pretzels out of the oven. Use your hot mitts because the tray is gonna be hot. Don't touch the tray barehanded. All right, so remember, a few minutes ago I asked you, why again do we make the pretzels shaped like this? And of course, it is because they look like little prayer arms. All right, so if you can see that. Okay, so after you make your pretzels at home, together with whoever you're with, cross your arms, bow your heads, and say a prayer together for just whatever you need to pray for, but also pray to think about what you're going to be doing for Lent this year. All right, well, it's good to see y'all today. I hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy your Pretzel Sunday.